Hi everyone, I'm Domingo from Newest, and the POCO F5 is one of the best phones of the year. Saying this about a Xiaomi phone is quite risky, but considering its price and the specs that it brings, well, I'm quite confident. To begin with, this phone costs $429 officially, but I've already seen it for $379 on AliExpress and even $329 on eBay, so it will end up costing around $350 in no time. The second reason for my enthusiasm is the new processor, the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2, and this is one of the only phones to carry it. Unlike the processors we saw with the Redmi Note 12 Pro or even the Galaxy A54, this one simply destroys them when it comes to benchmarks. In games like Genshin Impact, it doesn't have any problems either, and unlike past generations, this one doesn't get as hot, and as you can see here, it doesn't suffer from exaggerated throttling. Although, in some situations, it can. It is a powerful processor that literally competes with the latest generation, and if you don't believe me, just look at the speed test I usually do opening apps versus the POCO F5 Pro with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, where it was able to beat it, at least for the first round. This processor is so good that I didn't even notice the difference when I came from the POCO F5 Pro, and in terms of power consumption, as you can see, we get pretty good results. So far, I've only talked about the price and the performance of the POCO F5, but there are other things that I would like to show you. First of all, its proximity sensor works, which is a win for Xiaomi. Then we have an audio jack as well as a fingerprint reader on the side, which is quite fast, although we don't have a micro SD card slot, nor does it have water resistant or wireless charging like its big brother. However, it does have super fast charging, up to 67 watt with the cable and the charger that comes in the box. In the box, you will also see this case, which you will want to use at first, but not because the back case is slippery, but because it gets dirty very easily. I personally don't like this black color, and I regret not buying the blue version. But even so, I think it's a comfortable device to use with one hand. Another interesting aspect of this model is its AMOLED screen, which may not be the brightest, and in low brightness I've seen some green tints, but overall I would say it's up to par for the price. Its two speakers are also equally powerful, so much so that if I touch the top of the phone, I can feel the vibrations of the audio. So far in this review, you have seen how this phone it's quite balanced, but there are two things that I really hate about it. The first one is MIUI, which has not evolved in recent times, and with some updates, you never know what will happen. The phone also comes riddled with junk apps that you will have to uninstall, as well as ads in some system apps. The second thing you should know is in relation to their cameras, and unfortunately, well, I'm not quite convinced by them. The results with the main sensor are fine, but in many situations, its focus is slow or simply lacks definition. Its ultra-wide-angle sensor is even worse in this regard, and the Selfie gets dull colors and low definition. When we move to video, we can see how its stabilization is better than the Redmi Note 12 Pro, for example, but the same I cannot say in relation to its colors. Maybe I'm too spoiled with the Galaxy A54 or the Pixel 7, but these cameras have not excited me at all. So I guess it's time for us to wait for some Gcams, since the ones I've tried so far doesn't seem to be well optimized either. Having said all that, the POCO F5 is the true evolution of the POCO F3. It gives us a fairly balanced set of specs as well as a very powerful processor. You know, like all POCOs should do. Its big negative aspect is in its cameras, which perhaps in the future you can improve installing a Gcam, but if your thing is the photography, well, there are better phones on the market. Still, for $350, this phone is great for undemanding users, and with this processor, it should last easily around 2 to 3 years. Unless, Xiaomi screws it up with some updates. Something that has happened in the past, but hopefully it doesn't happen with this one. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and I see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao!